Hey guys, reviews and more back in their tech review. This is on the computer case by Rosewill, which is basically Newegg's house brand. It's on a case called the Cullinan, and this one is in white, comes in red, blue, green, and RGB. So this one is actually the white one. I'm not going to display the actual lights, so be ready for that. You're not going to see the actual lights on with this thing, and install a motherboard and set this whole thing up. As always, please, if you find this review helpful, please hit the subscribe button or give me a like on the video, and we'll get going with the review in just a second. First, I will explain one thing that I hate about this, and that is the actual Rosewill emblem being on it. You can't really see it even in the display on the website, on Newegg, eBay, wherever you might see this. And as best I can tell, the only way to get that little symbol off of there is to pop the front off and actually take a razor blade and scrape along that tempered glass. So it's kind of a... If you don't like that Rosewill symbol, might be a deal breaker for you because it is obvious on the front of that case. That's my only real huge gripe about this. You might hear me talk about a couple little small gripes along the way. But overall, it's a fantastic case. It's a little over 23 pounds. I think it ships at about 28 because of the box and everything else and shipping weight. But I think it's about 23 pounds, so it's a little bulky, but it's certainly not heavy considering the fact that most of that weight is in the fact that it's a steel constructed case, as well as having tempered glass on three sides, so front and side to side. So you have a sleek case. It looks gorgeous. It's a mid-tower frame, and I believe it'll hold an ATX, a full ATX, as well as your micro and mini ITX as well, as long as you got the offsets positioned in the right area. It is a very good looking case. Nothing bad about it as far as how it looks. You're in a little while, you'll see me demonstrate how the tinting might be an issue for you, but as far as just like how it's set up, it's great, and it's under $100. It was $80 on eBay. List price is $140 on eBay. However, on Newegg, it's like $130, and it sells for $109 depending on what's on sale. It might come with like a combo deal. It comes with a fan controller on the side. That's on the left-hand side there. Two audio ports, one for standard audio as well as the mic. Reset button, power button, two USB 3.0s, two USB 2.0s, but no USB Type-C. So this case, in my view, is at this point kind of obsolete, especially if you're talking about making a big gaming rig out of this, maybe a VR rig. You're going to want Type-C because now they're starting to make those VR systems Type-C powered. So you might want to, maybe that might be a deal breaker, or you might have to do a custom mod, which is going to be a pain, and you wouldn't want to do that on a brand new case anyway. So this is definitely not got the most current technology on it, and I think this will be a problem in general with most case companies because they're going to have to justify the fact there's no Type-Cs on their new cases, or rather their old stock cases that have been around for a while without USB Type-C, so they got to deal with that. It has a nice little PSU sheath, so you won't see your ugly power supply. It's got a little rubberized inlet there, so you can get the power cords through. There is very little room for cable management in the back. From what I can tell, the company expects you to run all your cables through the bottom there. So if you have a modular power supply, you're great. If your power supply is not modular at all, you might be having some trouble, or it might look a little gunky in there once you get everything lit up. And here we go in the back. This is where all the meat and potatoes are as far as storage. The storage is going to be, you have two trays that are easy mount trays for 3.5 inch drives, so for your basically mass storage, and then it has three slots for your SSDs. So what's cool about this is you can kind of because it's glass on both sides, you can get this cool LED light up SSDs and you can light them at the back. However, I don't know really what the purpose outside of that is. So I mean, all you're going to see is some gobbledygook and cables back there, so it's not really lit up. So unless you got some RGB SSDs like those higher end ones, and they're a little more expensive, you'll have some trouble. Additionally, the fan controller, if you look here in the back, it's powered directly by the power supply, unless you want to hook all your fan cables in separate. So you have to flip the little fan controller switch to change the speeds on them. I think they max out the four case fans that come with the system max out 1200 RPM, so that might be a deal breaker. But you can always get different fans and plug them directly in the motherboard if your motherboard has enough slots for your various fans. So if you want to keep the cable management at the top end, you kind of got to work with what they give you here. But if you don't, and you can move them around a little easier, that's fine as well. There is a good cable management sheath on the side, on the other side of the case, so you don't have to see the cables if they're not pretty, or they're not covered, or they're not basically just not looking good. And here's the biggest flaw to me cosmetically. Functionally, it's okay. It's a great case functionally. But if you take a look at this real fast, see the light coming in behind, and there's the Rosewill symbol right at the bottom right there. So the idea is you see it when the lights are all on, but I don't want to see it. I don't think the Rosewill symbol looks very nice. It kind of takes away from it in my opinion. So you just got to pop the front of it off, and you'll notice on this side it's a very thin, looks like vinyl sticker they put on there. And it does not come off. Like it's going to take a razor blade or a lot of scraping with your fingernail, and at that point you might end up damaging whatever the material you used to tint, and you probably don't want to do that. So that might be a problem for somebody who's looking at this case, or you might have to use a chemical to get that to peel off. In any case, you're risking the integrity of the glass at some level, or you might end up making it splotchy looking, so be careful there. But I didn't want to experiment with it because I didn't want to damage the case. And also, one of the other fun things about it is the magnetic dust panels. So you don't have to take them out. They don't pop out. They don't break easy. They're a soft mesh and they're surrounded by little low-end magnets that kind of hold it together. And they just feel nice, easy to clean. So that's a really big plus. And again, this case is just about at the $100 range. So this is at best, a middle-end case. So you're not in the budget category anymore. But at the same time, pretty much everything on this case internally, which would include basically just the 4 fans, you should probably replace. I wouldn't buy this case for the lights. They're not the best fans in the world. They're pretty cheap. They're cheap little Rosewill case fans. They're not going to be very. I've had them before in other cases. They're not going to be very loud or anything, but they're also not looking as good. So like they make some great RGB case fans that are just very, very solid colors. These look. You can see the little individual LEDs in there. Next slight flaw, which is only a flaw if you want to see everything in your system, is just how dark this tint is. So that's just a standard Samsung phone. You're seeing the light on there, the LED light. That's how bright. We know what the brightness on these cell phones look like. It's pretty daggone bright, and it dims it down quite a bit, which isn't a bad thing, but it also, if you're looking to see all the internals, let's say you got like a custom water loop, you might not be able to see it all that well. It might be like you don't get to see the work product you put in and make it look cosmetically beautiful on the inside and very, very industrial and neat looking, and you're going to miss out on that. So you might have a problem there. However, if you like an understated look or you don't want it to interfere with what's on your screen, this might be the perfect thing for you. You really like the look. It's really just a matter of taste, but you can't change the tint on the glass, so you're kind of stuck with what you got. So if you like the dark tint, go for it. If you're worried you won't be able to see your product, not so much. And guys, that's the case. It is a solid piece of construction. It does not feel the least bit unsturdy. So that's the one thing that's another thing I love about it. But I'm probably not going to be able to use this for a little while. But I look forward to when I do put a computer in it because it is very nice. Again, the biggest flaw I have is the fact that that Rosewill emblem on there cannot be removed. And that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Have a great day.